Hey, what's happening, guys? Dan Darrow here with another Options and Play video update. Uh, so we we aren't strangers to gaps. We've seen plenty of big gaps this year. I mean, we've seen plenty of big gaps just in the last couple weeks. We do know that when we get a big overnight gap, it can kind of make for like a tricky open sometimes, right? Especially if if you're looking to like initiate like a swing trade or some trade um, the day before, and then you get a big gap, kind of like the opposite direction. It can make for a little bit more of a tricky decision. Um, so one of the things I've been trying to do, and what we've talked about quite a bit this year, is just giving like these big gap opens, some time to breathe, right? Some time to like find direction and make sure that the patterns that we were looking at are still intact, right? Because a lot can change in the first 30 minutes, the first 45 minutes, the first 60 minutes. So something that looked great yesterday at the close, by 10 o'clock, 10:30 the following morning, the pattern could be totally kaput, right? I mean, stock looked like it was breaking out one day, the next day, all of a sudden, it's back below resistance and doesn't look like it's breaking out. So, um, as much as we like to be active early because there's a lot of movement, sometimes the best thing you can do is just wait. Make sure that the pattern you were focusing on is still there, right? So like two of the names we were looking at coming into today, Okta. This was a reversal setup that really revolved around the stock starting to make some progress through the 8 EMA, which is the green line, and the 20-day, which is the pink line, right? So with yesterday's close, it was above both. With yesterday's open, it was nearly below both, right? So it goes from one day being a reversal, breaking out, next day all of a sudden sliding back below those key moving averages. So the open, like the first 30 to 45 minutes, it was really wait and see. Okay, do buyers step in, defend those moving averages? Does the stock hold above them? Then, which case, the pattern's still intact. But if it loses it, well, if the entire reason for getting into the trade was because of the pattern and that pattern is no longer valid, then obviously you don't want to move forward with the trade, right? FedEx, like another one. Stock yesterday had a big move back above the 8 EMA, which is this green line. So this morning when it opened right at the 8 EMA, it was a big spot. Like if it lost the 8 EMA, that reversal no longer valid, right? But the fact is, it held the 8 EMA. It continued to hold the 8 EMA through the first hour, and then as the day wore on, it continued to rebound. So this setup is still there, right? So sometimes the best thing you can do is just wait. Like let the stock tell you, is the pattern still there or is the pattern no longer valid? And then you can really get a more informed decision or opinion after the volume comes in and after like the news is digested overnight. Okay, so this is more applies to like swing trades, maybe like a week out, couple weeks out, even like a month out, right? Day trades maybe a different story, but if your focus is like several days to several weeks, then what's most important is just that the overall pattern is still intact, right? If your focus is only on a few minutes or maybe like in a couple hours, well then movement might be much more significant. So maybe you do want to focus more on the open. But as far as swing trade is concerned, this is kind of how we've been approaching it. All right. Um, so we'll see how the week finishes up. We've already had some big swings just in the first three sessions this week, and then we got the jobs report coming up on Friday. So it does seem like we're going to at least stay volatile the remainder of this week, and then next week, who knows? Because you got the CPI and earnings, and we could be all over the place. All right. So if you like this video and you're looking for more information about swing trading with options, please follow up with the link in the description of the video for more information on options and play. Have a great night. Stay well, and we'll talk to you all tomorrow.